This is the Loose Pass Rugby Podcast, only on Megaphone Rugby.
Welcome back to the Loose Pass Rugby Podcast. At last, I'm on the podcast with you again, you Griffin, I mean. And we talked about the confusion regarding your name, but we have no solution except for me to get to learn to pronounce your name properly. How's it you?
It's good, mate. It's good. Time feels weird now. Now we're doing more and more podcasts. We're doing more and more content. Even me on my channel doing more content. I lose track of how long it's been. I keep forgetting, it was only 3 days ago that we did another thing to put out. It feels like ages because you're always looking ahead to the next one. So, but yeah, back again, back in the comfortable. It's not actually that particularly warmer inside than it was outside last week. I've had to go and put the heating on. I've got my radiator down here, so I'm going to be leaning over to hold that for a bit while I warm up.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if your weather is extreme, but our weather is extreme, especially where I live in Pretoria. We had hailstorms, looked like snow. And honestly, if you didn't know it was hail, you would have thought it was snow. It was banks full of hail over here. And in Cape Town, it was sweltering in like 45 degrees or something in the Paarl and those areas. Just incredible weather. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, that's a discussion for another day. What I do like, I wanted to say thank you for a couple of things. Firstly, I wanted to say thank you for doing that instant reaction of us immediately after that game against the Springboks. I know it was probably one of the most difficult things, but what resonated with me, and I resonated with a lot of our viewers as well, I think, is how authentic it was. And I wanted to say thank you, and thank you for all the guys who watched it. It was one of our most successful videos yet.
I'd like to say my pleasure, but it wasn't a pleasure. It's funny, since the game, people have asked me, did you enjoy the game? Because that's just what you say to be polite. Oh, did you enjoy your day out? And the answer is no, I didn't. It was really awful. I really didn't enjoy it at all. I enjoyed meeting Paul. We got to meet Paul from the long way to the game. After I went and had a coffee with him, I showed him Cardiff Castle.
You told us.
And his lovely wife as well. And we had a bit of a chat, which is very nice. And so I guess that was the day ended on a high. The drive back wasn't so bad. That's the kind of positives that I'm taking out of the day.
Well, I tell you what.
There's a video coming out on Sunday morning. You will catch a video all about my day, about 10-minute long video, telling the story of the day. So keep an eye out for that.
All right. If you want to go visit Hugh's channel, it's called HG Rugby for Huw Griffin Rugby. I'll put the link in the description. I always do. But also on our homepage, on our channel, there's a direct link to Hugh's HG Rugby channel if you want to go have a look there. I also started a Megaphone Shorts channel, Huw. I refuse to put shorts on my main channel because I know it's damaging. So I know you don't agree with me, but I'm making shorts on that other one, dedicated to shorts only. So go watch there. Little shorts from Paul and of John Robbie and of Andre Pretorius with all kinds of music. And I enjoy making them, but I know that's then, I just want to say that I will not put shorts on the main channel, but I will make shorts on a special channel. Go watch it. The link's also next to Hugh's channel down below on our homepage. What do you think of that?
I like making shorts as well. I know a lot of people choose to make a dedicated channel for it. I can't be bothered to do that. And it would never ever get monetized. So
it never will. Yeah.
I'll put it on my main channel because I do have some shorts that have actually made me a little bit of money now at this point.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, but you don't tell people it's a very little bit of money.
It's always a little bit of money. I don't do YouTube full time. The YouTube.
No, I know, but I mean, compared to a normal video, the numbers are ridiculous. So
yeah, it's true, but it's pocket for me in my particular circumstances, pocket money anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, all right. For me, it's an income, so I have to be very serious. Actually, I did a lot of research after you and I talked about that, and I am still firmly convinced that it's not good for your channel to put shorts on the same channel as your long form. So, but I'm now trying to, like you said, the approach seems to be just to do a separate channel for that. Also, you can watch us on TikTok and on Facebook, which seems to have exploded, which is a good thing. So I'll put the link.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. Not too bad. Andre's video, if you take the longs and everything else, I think it's about 80,000 views now. So it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Very well worth having.
Andre Pretorius and I, by the way, are planning something very, very special. We're working on it. It's a lot of work. I have to still convince him. It's like a steaks donkey, which means a donkey doesn't want to do it. But I'm pulling him along. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, talking about that game, what did you think of the Springbok jersey that you got from Paul?
Well, I think it's very nice.
Everybody was waiting. Everybody was saying, "I can't wait for you." And then and you wear a Scarlets jersey. I mean, what's the story, man?
I have a schedule of what jerseys that I'm wearing, and I'm fully
Yeah.
booked out until the end of the year.
Yeah, but you
But-
missed this. Yeah, okay.
But I've got it here now. It's very nice. It's the posh one. Thank you, Paul. I think he bought me the nice one. Everything. It's cool. It's got stitched all over it. The FNB isn't stitched, but I think, in my personal opinion, as a sponsor, it's much better integrated than the predecessor. And then it's got the South Africa flag is stitched. Springbok, South Africa rugby logo is stitched. The Springbok logo is stitched. The Nike logo is stitched. There's nothing on that arm. Yeah, and then on the inside, it says forever green and gold, even if you're wearing a white one. And then it's got 4 stars. And for the life of me, I can't figure out what that's a reference to.
No, nobody would know. Jeez, man. It's a riddle. If anybody knows what the 4 stars are for, put it in the comments, please. You clearly delusional, living in denial. Let's put it like that. Talking of living in denial, I want to teach you. I'm going to jump ahead to your. Well, I'll talk to you about your Scarlets jersey first. I'm very keen to teach you Afrikaans word for this week. Let's talk about your Scarlets jersey quickly. How's about those Glasgow Warriors? So I know why you're wearing that.
Nilled. It's not just the Stormers who nil people anymore. It's the Scarlets too.
What happened? Was Glasgow even on the field, or did they have 14 injuries, or what happened?
It turns out that the Scarlets were just giving the rest of the league a 5-game head start. And now we've actually started trying.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm very happy about that. And in celebration, I'm wearing my least favorite Scarlets jersey that I own, which is just a red polo shirt. It's not too bad. It's a bit more interesting than some other polo shirts that Macron make. It's not particularly special. I think I'm going to give it away. I'm going to Bordeaux next week to see the Scarlets versus Bordeaux. And I think I'm going to gift it to the Bordeaux fans group. So I'm looking forward to that.
Will they take it?
It'd be very rude if they didn't.
But they're French. What are you expecting?
Let's hope. Apparently they're big on flags, but I haven't got any Scarlets flags. I've got one over there, but I can't take that. So this jersey will have to do.
So giving them your cast off Scarlet stuff.
Well, I'm not going to give them my favourite one, am I? I'm not going to give them my 2003 founding year Scarlets jersey. It's made by Cougar and is pure cotton. I'm not going to give them that.
No, I get that. Talking about Bordeaux, we're going to be talking about those French teams we're playing this weekend later on in the show. So you're going to explain to us exactly what to expect. I think the Bulls, by the way, are going to have the upper hand with the altitude, the weather. I just hope it doesn't rain again, because it's been raining for weeks and weeks and weeks. It must be a scorching hot day. That'll count in our favor. But we'll get to that just now. Right, let's jump ahead. I want to remind you of the following, and then the Afrikaans word will follow from that. Seeing how understandably upset you were after that match against the Springboks. In 2017, the Springboks lost 57-0 to the All Blacks, and 2 years later, we were world champions. You remember that?
How could I forget?
One of those stars. Here's a hint for your investigation into those 4 stars there. And the word I want to teach you tonight is called "kan nie do it." Let me pronounce it first before I tell you what it means.
It sounded like you were saying, "Can he do it?"
It's very, very close. Kan nie do it.
Can he do it?
It's actually you're doing well. You're doing well. It doesn't end with a T. It ends with a D. So
can he do it?
Yeah, can he do it? And that means never say die. You cannot kill someone. Can he means cannot, and do it means dead. Can't kill him. So the Welsh are known for fighting back. The Welsh are known for being resilient. You guys, you'll be back. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, like I said, like I will be said at the end of the video that's coming out on Sunday, the hope is just blind hope at this point. And I hear you guys when you're talking about the 57-0 and things. I don't think it's quite the same. I don't. It's what's going on here. Look, I'm going to profess to know everything that was going on in South African rugby in 2017, but there were obvious fixes, I think, for you guys back then. I can't see any obvious fixes. I honestly don't see where the turnaround comes. But talking about Wales a lot here. There's a Welsh song called Yma o Hyd, YMA space O space HYD, and it's a song, and it means we're still here. And the chorus the song tells the story of all of the people who've tried to conquer Wales and destroy Wales, right from the Romans back before the birth of Christ, through to Margaret Thatcher in the 1980s and things like that. And the chorus says, "In spite of everyone and everything, we are still here," which is resonates a lot with the Welsh psyche. I think it's fair to say. The Scarlets sing it. The Scarlets have kind of adopted it as their song. The Welsh football team have kind of adopted it as their song. So that's kind of what all we're clinging to at the moment.
Right. Talking of Wales, you picked up something very, very interesting after that match where you saw Sacha, Feinberg-Mngomezulu for the second time this year in action. I mean, you saw them more than I did in live. So talk to us about that Welsh connection between Sasha and...
Yes, Sasha is a Scarlet. I always knew it. So back when Sasha was even younger than he currently is, he had an exchange trip to Wales and he played for Llandovery College, which is very interesting. So what is Llandovery? Llandovery is a town in West Wales. So the furthest westerly team in Wales in the URC is the Scarlets. And if it helps you visualize, it's the bit that's furthest away from England. And the Llandovery is even further west than Llanelli, where the Scarlets are from. It's even further west than that. Once you get to that part of Wales, it's very, very sparsely populated. There are no really big towns or cities like you might be used to in the likes of England or South Africa or France or something. You know, I think Llanelli has a population of 30,000. Llandovery is even smaller than that. I would say that there are no cities in that part of the world, but that's not strictly true. There is a place called St Helens in West Wales, which is the smallest city in the UK with a population of 1,200 people, I believe. And it was made a city back, I think, a couple of hundred years ago when they were going mad making everywhere a city, maybe 150 years ago. But anyway, so Llandovery is... So once you get to that area of Wales, like I said, it's sparsely populated. There's big gaps between everywhere, and it takes ages to get between places that should take not very long to get between, because the roads are narrow, twisting and turning. There's not much infrastructure. It takes a long time to get to places. So all these places have very defined local identities in an area which on a map you would say is not very big. That's where the kind of tribalism comes from in Wales, and the local identity comes from in Wales is because a mile is a long way in the valleys, as they say. And so, yeah, Llandovery is a rugby town. Everyone in that area of Wales, well, a lot of people in that area of Wales speak Welsh as a first language. And Llandovery is a very recently successful rugby town. So in the Welsh Premiership, moving into what has become Super Rugby Cymru, which is the top level of semi-professional rugby in Wales. It's the level of rugby beneath the URC, kind of our Curry Cup, if you like. Llandovery have won. They didn't win it last year, but before that, they won 2 back-to-back league titles, and they won the cup as well. So we have a league and we have a cup. They did the double-double 2 years back-to-back. I think they won the cup last year as well, but didn't win the league, and they're doing well again in the league this year. So it's a rugby town, and Llandovery College is a college in Llandovery, and it's very well known for being a school that produces a lot of rugby talent in Wales. So a large number of Scarlets players went there currently. Archie Hughes, one of our scrum halves, Harry O'Connor, who's a Welsh international tight head, are currently in our squad, who went there, played with Sasha while he was there. So Archie Hughes was his halfback partner while he was there. And Alan Wyn-Jones went to Llandovery College. Loads of people did. It's a well-known rugby school that gives out scholarships for rugby. And Sasha went there. So it was obviously, he must have been good to get in there. We obviously know that he was good. And there's photos. The BBC did an article where they went through his time playing there, and they managed to dig out the photos from the archives and things of him scoring tries for Llandovery College and stuff, and interviews with people who played with him. So that was fun. And then last time, or maybe not the last time, but when he played the Scarlets in the last couple of years, he posed with his old teammates who are now in the Scarlets team and things. So long story short, Sasha is going to quit the Stormers and come and play for the Scarlets, which is what he's always wanted to do, is what I'm saying.
Did you have tea before we started this podcast? Because there must have been something in it. And I mean tea, not your supper, dinner tea, that funny British thing that you guys do, the actual tea that you drink.
What, drink tea? Today I have drunk tea, yes, but not immediately before this podcast.
But there must have been something in that quite strong, because clearly, like I said, you're way off track.
When I meet Sasha, the first thing I shall ask him is about coming to play for the Scarlets, and I've got no doubts that he will confirm that yes, it is in his plans.
No, sure. No, it's fine.
Of course, he'd have to wear 23 because he's not starting ahead of Sam Costello, and he's not starting ahead of Blair Murray, and he's not starting ahead of Eddie James. So 20, I think he'd be a good impact sub for us.
But he should go play Super Rugby Cymru first anyway. He's not going to be on URC level, I suppose.
Oh yeah, he'll have to build up his game time because obviously he'll just be sat on the bench with the Scarlets, so he'll need game time. So he'll have to go back and play for Llandovery, play against Newport and Ebervale, and get his minutes up, and then he can come and play for the Scarlets. Maybe if he's good enough.
I know most Springboks definitely want to go play for Wales one day. I mean, that's all what they all aspire to. I remember Warren Gatland having, his greedy little beady eyes on Cameron Hanekom. Remember before Cameron committed to the Springboks, because it was some distant grandmother or something. Remember that?
It's not his distant grandmother. I would be very upset if you called my grandmother distant. I mean, she's not distant at all. No, he's Welsh.
It's my Afrikaans slipping there. I mean, it's going to be a distant relative. It's not like he lived there. They were there, past couple of years.
Everyone's got a Welsh gran, and everybody is. There's two kinds of people. There's three kinds of people in the world, and there's Welsh people who wish they were Welsh, and people with no ambition.
Okay. All right. Fine.
I'm trying to find my Sasha stats that I made the other day. Hang on a second.
I've got no. You mean the one against Manie?
Yes, Manie versus Sasha stats. It's our favorite topic on this podcast.
Yeah, I know.
I'll find it now.
I've got it. I'll send it to you. Want me to send it to you quickly?
No, I'll find it because it's on our chat with Harry, and Harry doesn't say much in that chat, so it'll be fine. Oh God, I've got this.
Harry didn't say much on the chat. By the way, while we're waiting for you to catch up to his homework that he should have done before this podcast, Harry is on a bit of a break, so we'll have more Harry this Friday, and we'll have a huge Harry thing on Sunday, which is going to let the tongues wag a lot. Harry decides who the best rugby team ever is. No prizes for guessing, but the way he got there, that's quite an interesting one. So look out for that. So whenever you're ready, we can talk about
Harry choosing selective stats to decide that his team is actually the one that's the best. I am shocked.
You're flabbergasted, floored. Yeah.
So, Manie versus Sasha. The last thing that we'll talk about, we'll talk about it this year in 2025. So enjoy, people. So, I had a wee look at some of the stats across the autumn. This was before the Wales game. Obviously, Manie didn't play in the Wales game. So, and it's interesting the different stats which each excel in, and just how big the differences are. And I don't think you'll be surprised at what the differences are, but I think you'll be surprised at the size of the differences. So, for example, carries per 80. You must always do your stats per 80 to account for the fact that not everyone has the same amount of game time. So, carries per 80. Sasha, 13.7, which is a lot for a fly half. A lot. Manie, 8.8.
Can I ask something quickly before you go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
13.7, you said it's a lot. It's a lot. How does it compare to other fly halves? This is a matter of interest.
Oh, to other fly halves, it would be a lot, yes. You're normally into double figures. You're talking about flankers and inside centres and that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Defenders beaten per 80. Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, 6.2. Manie Libbok, 0. None this autumn, defenders beaten. Meters made. Sasha, now I think this is just meters carried rather than gained over the gain line. 83.3, which is ridiculous. That's an unbelievable amount. Manie's only on 24.4. Tries, Sasha was on 1.7, will be on more than that now after the Wales match. Manie, 0. This is just for the autumn stats. This isn't 2025 as a whole. This is just the autumn.
Excluding Wales, like you said.
Excluding Wales. Kick meters per 80. Sasha, 460. Manie, 287. Big difference. Sasha's kick meters a lot more, which speaks to the different kinds of kick. Obviously, Manie does the cross-field kick passes that don't maybe go that because that only measures forward, right? It doesn't measure side to side. So maybe Manie's don't go that far forward. But then it starts to change, MV. So passes per 80. Manie Libbok, 19.5. Sasha, 9.9. So Manie makes nearly, let's just call it, double the passes per 80 of Sasha. Line break assists. So this is the pass that leads to a player making a line break. Manie, 3.9 per 80. Sasha, 0.4. A big difference. Try assists, Manie is on 2 per 80. Sasha, 0. And kicks retained, Manie, 5.9. Sasha, 2.5. Again, less than half. And finally, and this is the really surprising one that I wasn't expecting, tackles per 80. Manie, 9.8. Sasha, 6.2.
Sasha's supposedly such a good defender. And so physical and everything else.
I think it speaks to Manie has turned certain areas of his game around this year. And I think there's something about having Sasha there has really reinforced what his identity in the team is. And I think it's what's massively clear between these stats is it emphasizes that Sasha is the running threat, 10. He scored 2 tries again at the weekend. I think he's already the most try-scoring fly half that South Africa has ever had. And he's played about 10 minutes. And Manie is the playmaker. And I think that's why it's some people's opinion that the Springboks as a team play better with Manie at 10, because Manie's all about giving the ball to other people, whereas Sasha's all about doing it himself. Now, it's kind of like, how do you want to skin a cat? Do you want the guy to just do it himself and score all the points, or do you want the guy to get everybody else to do it? The outcome is the same. So, it's kind of pick your poison. But like I said, the differences in stats is bigger than I thought. And I will say as well, it kind of emphasizes what I've said on this podcast a couple of times, is that I think that the next thing for Sasha to add to his game to become really truly the complete 100% player is the passing game, because I still think that particularly his long passes could be better. It's my opinion.
So that bad habits that Sasha's got that he needs to work on, he clearly picked up in Wales. I mean, there's no doubting about that. But something interesting that I noticed on this graph, there's a third column here in green, Damian Willemse. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put Damien in there for a bit of context, because like I said, I think that Damien is the special source for the Springbok team. And I think he's shown that over the year, a fantastic year performance from him. And I was interested to see how his stats compared, and I think in the end it wasn't that valuable to add him in because he's been playing at fullback, so he hasn't played at fly half. And when you play at fullback, your touches are less, your actions are less, you don't get the ball as much. So that's why his numbers are lesser than both Manie and Sasha's. But I think it was interesting anyway. I just wanted to see, because I love Damian Willemse, so I wanted to look at his stats.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, it still compares quite favorably. It's right up there on every single statistic, every single measurable. He's there or thereabouts. It's not bad. If you take it, didn't play 10. Anyway, right. That was an interesting one. People, let us know what you think about the latest Manie versus Sasha. War of words is going to erupt any moment now, I'm sure. And please, people, please keep it civil. I'm asking again, nicely. Geez, we had some abuse lately. It's been bad. Anyway, let's talk about the Rugby World Cup draw. You gave us a little video yesterday. Thank you for that. Thank you for offering to explain how it works. I had no idea what's going to happen. And then it turned out to be a jumble. Talk me through the process, firstly, and then what we got presented with. What happened?
So like I said in the video, the top 24 teams in the world who have qualified for the Rugby World Cup were split into 4 bands, 1st to 6th, 7th to 12th, 13th to 18th, and 19th to the bottom team, which happened to be, I think, 25th or 26th, because there are teams ranked higher who didn't qualify. So it was drawn into the groups. It was just a random draw, names out of a hat, and to 6 pools of 4, which means that we've got because of the way that it's done, we have a pretty good idea of who's going to qualify from each round. And I guess the big talking point that everyone's noticed straight away is that it looks extremely likely that New Zealand and South Africa will play each other in a World Cup quarterfinal.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm going to put that on the screen here as well. And the other side of it, that equation, the other side of the draw, England's going to march into the final. Sort of,
England do look like they have benefited from this draw quite a lot. In their pool, they have Italy. Now, Italy and Georgia being in the same pool is tasty. Normally, Georgia do underperform at Rugby World Cups, though. But So Italy have never beaten England. So that would be a huge shock. So England should progress in the pool. You would think that Australia would be who they would meet in the quarterfinal. And you would expect England to beat that. They thrashed Australia earlier this month, and they've got a great record against Australia in recent years. And then they're up against Argentina in the semi-final. Well, possibly. So Argentina have got Fiji in their pool, which is going to be a great game. Can't wait for that. Then they're up against the third place team. So Argentina in their round of 16 would probably either play Chile, Tonga, or USA, I think. And then they would go and play probably Ireland in the quarterfinal. Now, I have a seeking suspicion that by the time we get to 2027, Argentina will be a better team than Ireland. That is my prediction. And of course, Ireland have never won a World Cup quarterfinal. You might have heard about that. Which means that it would be then a semi-final between England and Argentina. And Argentina pushed England bloody close just the other week in Twickenham. That will be a hell of a game, a very competitive game. I think England probably are favourites as we sit here now 2 years away from the event actually happening. So anything can happen between now and then. But I have a funny feeling, if you want an outside bet, dark horse, Argentina to get to a Rugby World Cup final is my dark horse. But if it is England, then it will be England relatively, Argentina will be probably the first hard game that they play. Based on current form now in 2025. A lot can change. So England are looking good to get into the final. South Africa's path to the final, should you win the pool, is probably going to be New Zealand, France, and then England in the final, which is hard games.
Well, we only have one more hard game than England does, and that's actually going to be prepared as well. I mean, that quarterfinal against New Zealand will set up us nicely for the semi-final against France. And England will have their first tough game, like you said, England versus Argentina. We might have a bit more on our miles on our legs, but the question is, those early games, would the bigger teams play their first choice players there? I mean, they can basically walk that pool playing their second strings.
Yeah, I think that you would, if I just remind myself who you're in a pool with, you're in Pool B with Italy. Yeah, okay. I mean, you've played Italy 3 times this year. And
Georgia, we've played.
And you beat them with your 14-man C team in Italy recently. So yes, I think you will probably. I think all of the big teams will probably pick one game in the pool stage to play their first choice team. For you, I would expect that would be Italy, and then take it off. And then, like in your round of 16 game, you will be playing against either Uruguay, Samoa, or Tonga. So you would probably win that quite easily as well. So, I think the Springbok B team is definitely good enough to get to the quarterfinal. But I expect that you'll pick at least one game, maybe 2 games where you will play your full strategy.
Are you sure about that round of 16? Because the one I got sent said we might end up playing against Portugal. Pool D.
Maybe.
Pool D, 3rd place.
Let me have a second. Pool D, 3rd place. Yeah, no, sorry, mate. You have been ill-informed. You have been told that by someone who is completely out of touch because Uruguay are better than Portugal.
Oh, I see. That was the permutation.
Uruguay played against Portugal last month and beat them in Portugal relatively comfortably. Portugal have this thing about Portugal is I'm getting a bit hurtful about it because
I love it.
They beat. It was such a flash in the pan what they did in 2023. I'm sorry for being horrible, and it is mean and it is unpleasant, but it was such a flash in the pan what they did in 2023. They had there was nothing going on before that, and there's been nothing going on since.
Yeah.
So Uruguay are a better team than Portugal.
Okay, because I just saw the name. Yeah, I didn't realize what the permutations were to get there. See, that's why we talk to you. You keep us informed from a neutral perspective. I like it, man. Good. Yeah, it's fine. I look at for me, Fiji is one of the dark horses, I would think, and I think Argentina, like you said, they've been improving steadily under Contaboni, and they're going to be even better in 2 years' time.
Fiji Argentina is going to be a crazy game, an absolutely crazy game, and that's the one I think is well worth tuning in for. If Fiji come second in that pool, which we think they probably would, they then play Wales in the round of 16, and then they play against France in the quarterfinal. I mean, you would expect France to win that.
I'm going to ask you a serious question now, but you don't have to answer if you don't want to. If you feel like you do about Wales, you know, is there any other team that you would sort of emotionally support? I'm not asking you to do the Springboks. I'm just asking you in general. Is there any other team that you would then root for apart from Wales? Is there a matter of interest?
It would probably be between Fiji, Argentina, and you're not going to like this, France a little bit, because I watch French rugby and I just get to know the players and I have favourite players. It's kind of like there would be players in the French team I would be wanting to do well. Is probably a more accurate way of describing it. But after Wales, it would probably be Fiji and Argentina.
No, I get that. That's what I'm asking. As well as I said, don't say Springboks. I don't necessarily want to hear Springboks. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking a legitimate question because I know I closely follow French rugby. And last week you told us you watch 200 rugby matches a year. I mean, that's 4 per weekend. How do you do it? I mean, and you still have a girlfriend.
Yeah. I started doing that after I met her. That's the trick. So yeah, well, one on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday.
Oh my word. My wife would definitely not have any of that, I can tell you. I'm going to Loftus this weekend, by the way, to go watch the Bulls versus Bordeaux. Again, like I said, we'll talk about that just now. I want to just ask you this question. There's a little trick here that we might be able to avoid New Zealand, if we really want to be cynical. I know we're not going to be, but just talk to me about that.
Yeah, if Rassie made a plan and decided to throw one of the pool games against Italy, most likely, now that could still go wrong because Italy could still then lose to Georgia, and then God knows where you are. So it's high risk. But yeah, I don't know how you would throw a game to Italy or Georgia. I think you'd have to play with about 9 men. I think.
Yeah.
I was thinking, could I score for the Springboks if I was on the pitch? I'm not because you've beaten that many teams with 14 men. When the Springboks haven't got the ball and they're just defending, I'll just stand off the pitch. There's no rule that says you can't just have a guy just go and leave the pitch for a bit. And then when you're on attack in the 22, I'll just come and stand on the wing, and all I have to do is catch a pass from Manie and flop over the line.
Kick pass, yeah.
Yeah, no, not a kick pass. That'll be a bit hard. Just a normal pass. And
okay.
It's just me. I'm not saying I'm going to do any rugby training for it at all. I just literally turn up on the day.
Yeah.
Could I score a try for the Springboks against Italy or Georgia or Wales or something like that?
Yeah, I think you probably can. It's just the team is that good. Honestly, I do. I mean, they're going to be 1 man short anyway, so you can just as well fill in.
Yeah, they're going to get a red card anyway.
Yeah.
So, cool. Oh, that could be the alternative to a red card. Instead of a 20-minute red card, you have to have Huw. You have to take off
some random spectator, man.
Yeah, you have to bring up someone from the ground. Has to come in. And they have to score a try, otherwise you're disqualified. So yeah, that's good. Well, you're welcome, rugby. We fixed it.
Yeah, because they want to make it more exciting and more watchable. So there you go. Just figured it out.
So what were we going to say?
No, we were talking about if the Springboks throw the game to avoid New Zealand.
Okay, yes. So if
please, before we go any further, we're not saying they're going to do it. We're just shooting the breeze here. We're joking, please, people. All right.
If you decided to throw the game, then you would play England in the round of 16. So that would be hard. But then your pathway would be Australia, Ireland or Argentina, and then you would probably, I'm going to go out on a limb here and be a bit unpopular and say play France in the final, because I think France would beat New Zealand. That is my opinion. If you disagree, that's okay. I don't mind. And then you play, so it's up to you which way you'd rather do. But I would say that it's throwing a game against either Italy or Georgia and making sure that the right one of those actually beat the other is probably harder than just beating New Zealand.
Yeah, but remember, we're going to play New Zealand 4 times next year. I mean, by the time we get to the World Cup, we're going to know each other's tricks so well. I mean, I would rather play New Zealand that I know, that I've sussed out, and we know what to expect, than England, who's on a bit of a upward curve, a bit of a dark horse, looking good. You don't know where they're going to be in 2 years' time. I'd rather play All Blacks. I'm just going to keep it straight and simple. That's what I would do.
I think that's probably the best plan.
Definitely. All right, so just tell me, what was your thinking about this? I mean, we saw in the Women's World Cup, the uncompetitive games in the pool stages, how little people were pitched up to watch it, how few people were actually watching it on TV and everything else. It was successful towards the end of the tournament. What's the use of having more teams and nobody watches it? Why are they doing it?
If you're very cynical, you could say it's to guarantee that the USA definitely qualify. The USA The USA have copped a horrible pool though, because they've got Samoa, Japan. Oh, by the way, Wales are playing Zimbabwe. Hooray! That's the huge. I'll also support Zimbabwe. You're my other team as well.
Okay.
So USA have got Japan and Samoa in their pool as well as France. There's a very real chance that USA finish bottom of that pool and do not get out of it. Now, they did beat Samoa last time they played them, but I spoke to a Samoan this morning and he said that he was pretty confident that that's not going to happen again. And you would expect that Samoa get better in World Cup years because they get players back, they get more time together, etc., etc.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if you're cynical, you say they've gone through all of this to make sure that USA definitely qualifies because they want to get into the USA markets. You know, also you could say that they're trying to break the Asian market, like they wanted another Asian team in there, which has turned out to be Hong Kong. And I'm not going to go into it because it's too complicated and I don't know the full story, but there's a China connection there. They could get into the Chinese market via Hong Kong as well. They're called Hong Kong China.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, they're called Hong Kong China. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that that might be into their thinking as well. Hong Kong are going to get battered. Hong Kong are in the same pool as New Zealand, Chile, and Australia. Hong Kong. I was talking about Portugal earlier. Hong Kong took 50 off Portugal the other week. So yeah. So there's that. So cynically, that's probably why they actually did it. But they could just say that they're trying to grow the game and stuff. There's all sorts of people who would tell you that it's good for these nations to have this opportunity, this moment in the spotlight. And, you know, because I like Zimbabwe, I like to think that's true as well and stuff. But, you know, we're talking about two different things, aren't we? We're talking about the experience for these semi-professional or amateur players to go and play at a Rugby World Cup, which is one thing. And then we're talking about the products that people are watching on TV, which is a different thing.
If the USA doesn't make it I mean, they automatically qualify for the tournament in their own country, don't they?
Yes.
Okay. So it doesn't matter how they do yet. All right, fine. Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. It's 2 years away. I mean, I said to you this afternoon, there's a very little buzz about it in South Africa. I think it's too far out. I mean, it's just too remote. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not in South Africa, mate. You have to tell me.
No, but I mean, what's it like over there?
Well, no one cares about rugby over here anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Right, let's talk about this coming weekend, the Champions League and the Champions Cup and the Challenger Cup. 5 South African teams involved. The Cheetahs are playing. Yes, that's going to be another one. We're playing against Exeter. We're going to talk to me about that. But let's start with the first one. Stormers playing Bayonne. You mentioned to me Bayonne the other day. The Bulls managed to beat them, but nobody else has. I mean, has that changed in the meantime?
No, it hasn't. I will just point out that Bayonne were like deliberately trying to lose that game. They did not want to be in the Challenge Cup last year. But
against the Bulls?
Yeah, yes. So, but Bayonne have not lost at home in the top 14 since, I want to say, March 2024, something like that. So a long time. They went unbeaten at home all of last season, including beating Bordeaux, Toulouse, La Rochelle at home, all of those people. And they've already beaten Toulouse at home this season. Little stadium, 15,000 people. It's not that little, I suppose, but 15,000 people is packed out. They love their rugby. They play a great brand of rugby that's great to watch. They got fly half Joris Sigons. Hertford Yankees plays for them. I'm not sure he'll get a game in this.
Against the Stormers. I mean, sorry, but the Stormers are playing against them. But you might not, like you said, that's actually a very interesting one. A very interesting one. I didn't realize.
And Peter Schultz might still play for them, I think. And I believe that Uzek Kasim has now left them. So he doesn't play for them anymore. So there's your South African interest. Yeah, fun team. Very, very fun team. And it's a hard game for the Stormers. A hard game. Don't underestimate it. So now, the thing about Bayonne is that they're normally in the Challenge Cup. So they're not normally in the Champions Cup. This is new for them. They might not go all guns blazing. They might prioritize the top 14 to get into the playoffs of the top 14 like they did last year. They got to the semi-finals. So we'll wait and see. We'll learn a lot from this game. But it's a good matchup, I think. Obviously, the Stormers, we have to say, are the best team in the URC right now. And it's a good matchup for them. If Sasha and Willemse and Reinach all play, it's an interesting game. Arguably the game of the weekend.
I spoke to the Bulls sports psychologist this morning, high performance coach. And I asked him about the Springboks being integrated, the cohesion. How much of that's going to be a problem? Because I know Kobus and Ronach and Sasha and those guys play together. That's going to help them a lot, but we're still slotting into the Stormer system. It must be a bit of a challenge. I mean, just coming off an 8-week tour, including the games before the autumn nations and everything else. These guys must be pretty tired by now, don't you think?
Absolutely. It will be a challenge flying over to France and stuff. And that's the thing that the French teams will have over everybody else is cohesion, because they play way more games than anybody else over in France. And Bayonne have already played 11 games this season altogether. And most of them don't get picked for France. So there's not that much kind of disruption. Other players that you might need to know, Manie Tuilagi plays for them. I think he's not injured at the moment. He might be. He might be injured, actually. And Sireli Mangala won gold medal with the Fijians at the Olympics.
Oh, okay. Right. Your prediction, by the way, what do you think?
Oh, it's really hard, But never back against Bayonne at home.
Except against the Bulls.
Except against the Bulls when they're deliberately trying to lose, yes.
No. I don't buy that. Honestly, that's just sour grapes. Honestly, I think that's what it is. That was a great victory, I must be honest. That's one of the Jake's highlights, I would say. Right, talking about Jake, Bulls taking on the champions, the defending champions, Bordeaux Bagels. How do I pronounce that? What are you expecting from that? Because number one, are they going to send their best team to South Africa in this weather? Are they going to prioritize it? They are the defending champions.
I have heard that they have sent their best players. Apparently, their best players at least have travelled to South Africa. And you would say that there wasn't much point doing that if you weren't going to play them. Who are their best players, Huw? Well, I'll tell you. They are, first and foremost, their halfback pairing of Maxime Lucu and Mathieu Jalibert. Oh, ever I could rant about Mathieu Jalibert. He is the form player in France for at least the last year, maybe the last 18 months. It is ridiculous. It is a shambles. It is a disgrace that Fabien Galtier has not found a way to use Mathieu Jalibert for France. It's ludicrous, and it's downright incompetence, basically. It's negligence. Mathieu Jalibert has got 18 try assists in 2025 in the top 14, which is the most of any player for 15 years, more than Dupont has ever managed in a calendar year for try assists. And by the way, there's still top 14 rounds of 2025 to go. He'll probably break 20. He's ridiculously talented.
Isn't he the one that sort of threw easy foot that went home from the French team?
One of them, yeah. I think Galtier said, "I'm not going to pick you," and he said, "Well, okay, I'm not turning up then." But he's an unbelievably good player, a fantastic player. Or you've also got Bordeaux. You've got Louis Biel-Bioré and Damien Penaud play on the wings. You've got Nicolas Deporter, who is, in my opinion, grabbed that France 13 jersey, which was a problem position for France. He's now come in and said, "No, this is my jersey now." So look forward to seeing him. It's all about the backs. Honestly, this is very backs versus forwards, this matchup. Bordeaux's pack is not very good at all. I'm going to be honest with you. It's quite impressive that they managed to win the Champions Cup with that pack. When they play Toulouse, it's the thing that always falls apart. Also, Bordeaux aren't actually in very good form at the moment. They've lost a few games. They're kind of mid-table in the top 14. So they've not had a great start to the season. Obviously, the Bulls haven't either. So I expect this to be a very silly game. I expect there to be a lot of tries. I think the last time you two played in the Champions Cup, actually, was something like 44-41. Something like that was the final
the
score.
Bulls were very far ahead, and then they just sort of lapsed it like they do, and then Bordeaux almost came back and won it.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be a ridiculously stupid game of touch, and whoever scores last wins.
Just a matter of interest, Carlos Sadi, the tight head. He was supposed to come to the Bulls from Bordeaux, and then he got injured, and then Bordeaux bought him back. And now the Bulls let him go, and they used that money to keep, get some other players. Nudge, wink, wink. And then Volkolo went and signed for the Stormers. So suddenly that decision doesn't look that good. I mean, I think the Bulls are a bit light on tight head, if you ask me.
Maybe. You still probably be a lot better scrum than Bordeaux.
That's interesting. So do you know anything about Carlos Sadi? Is he not doesn't ring a bell?
I don't know anything about him at all. I've never heard of him.
Okay, well, see, I can teach you something about French rugby as well. As long as it's got a Bull connection. I can help you with that. All right, next up.
Johan van Rensburg. He plays for Bordeaux.
Oh, is it? Of course he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Interesting. You know what I heard once is that the hotel right next to Loftus Park, there's a hotel, Protea Hotel, and all the visiting teams stay there. So right, literally, you walk across a small road, like not even a full road to get to the hotel, and the Bulls would know exactly who pitches up and what's happening there. It's interesting. A little bit of espionage story there for you. Right. What's next? Lions playing Benetton, isn't it?
Is it? I haven't even checked the Challenge Cup scores. It's a URC fixture. Where's it being played?
In Joburg.
Okay, Lions are going to win.
Yeah, no, quite good, quite clear. And Lions after last weekend, I talked to you about how you felt at Wales. I almost felt the same way. I know it's not the same level, but yes, I was upset at Loftus. I was really upset. So hopefully this weekend is going to be a bit better. At Loftus, we know Benetton, we know what they're like. They're a good team. They can beat any team on any given day. But I mean, the Lions are on a bit of a tear, doing well. Home ground advantage. They're going to be 17 spectators there as well, and they're going to do well. So not too bad. And then the Sharks, Toulouse. That's a tough one.
The Sharks are going to not win this game. They are very much going to score fewer points than Toulouse, I think, and come home with their tails between their legs. I don't know how many Springboks are going to turn out for the Sharks. It doesn't matter. Toulouse are the best club team in the world. Whenever Harry does his Harry index and Toulouse are not top, it's a nonsense. Toulouse are the best club team in the world with the best squad, the best players, play the best rugby. They're going to win.
And the most money.
And the most money. Yes.
Why didn't they win last year?
Bordeaux beat them in Bordeaux. It was a very close game, and Bordeaux managed to beat Toulouse 3 times last year, twice in the league and once in the Champions Cup. And then Toulouse won the grand final in the top 14.
Yeah, they won the top 14.
Toulouse fan will say they didn't have Dupont, because Dupont's back now, by the way. Did you know?
No. Okay, that's good to know. That's interesting. Will he be playing this weekend, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he'll play. Don't you worry about that.
I wonder what's going to happen at the Sharks. They talked about, this consultant coming in to help John Plumtree. I haven't heard squat from it since then. I don't know. A team of all that money and all that talent. We're going to be talking to Marco Masotti again soon, Harry and I, before the game against the Bulls, I think. Let's keep an eye on that.
What are you going to say? You're going to say, we're not even Sharks fans and we're sick of you. Sort it out, will you?
Yeah, please take them all home so we can beat you. The Bulls can beat someone. I've got interesting stories. That high-performance coach that I talked to you about, that interview, is so interesting. He was the high-performance coach for the Springboks under Jake White for 3 years as well. So that's very interesting. I'll watch out for that one. Anyway, lastly, Exeter. The Cheetahs playing against Exeter. The Cheetahs have not covered themselves in glory at all. What are you expecting from that one? Just tell us about Exeter quickly.
I don't watch the Prem, so I don't know. I refuse to watch that nonsense. But the Exeter aren't that good. They're a bit better. They've made a load of signings. They tried to play the kids for a few years. I did do a bit of research on them. Oh, God. When I did this, I made a video about Exeter, and I had to watch lots of clips of them, and it was the worst rugby I've ever seen in my life. I was watching like, what is this? Is this professional? Do you guys practice in the week to play this? But I think they've gone a bit better since I did that. So they had some money issues, and they tried to just play their academy for a few years, and it went really, really, really badly. And so they've signed some players, like they signed Lenny Kitao, now plays for them.
Okay.
So yeah, and so they'll probably be a bit better. They're obviously playing against the Currie Cup team. Is it in Exeter?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Exeter's miles away, man. If you've never been to Exeter, it takes ages to get there. It's probably quicker to go by boat, honestly. So yeah, but I think Exeter will probably win.
I'm actually thinking now. So I didn't actually check this, but the Cheetahs had to play in the Netherlands last year as their home base.
In Amsterdam, yes.
Yeah. Oh, if there's going to be an Amsterdam Exeter. Sorry, I don't know. I'll have a check. We're going to get accused of low IQ again. So, who cares? There we go. Anyway, this is an awesome one. Thank you so much. And thank you once again for a record-breaking instant reaction. We'll do one soon again. And like you said, for me, one of my favorite instant reactions ever were you and Harry live from that Twickenham game. Absolute chaos. But a true reflection of what was going on there. Thanks, man.
My pleasure, mate.
This is the Loose Pass Rugby podcast, only on Megaphone Rugby.